I'm Mr.DD, and today we're making clay cupcakes. The artist Wayne Thiebaud has made a lot of beautiful paintings of desserts, so we're kind of mixing him with clay today and making some pinch pot cupcakes today. Let me show you how. Everybody's making a big wad of clay today, and the first thing you're going to do is break it into two parts and set part aside. The first part we're going to be making is the cake part of our cupcake. And we are rolling this into a ball. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then we're going to put our thumb in. Don't push it all the way through. Go till it feels like it's about that far from the end. And then we're going to pinch. That's why it's called a pinch pot. So we're going to pinch and turn, 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 pinch and turn. And we're gonna, we're gonna go around and do this a little bit. Don't let it get too thin. We don't want it super thin. We also don't want it to be a bowl. It's a cupcake, so it should be shaped almost straight up and down like a cup. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing this. Like I said, don't let it don't let the walls get too thin. About like this is good. Our cupcake needs to be flat on the bottom. That's naturally just gonna kind of happen as you're going. But if you want to just, tap it down once or twice, you can also tap the top of it. And that is going to make a flat surface for our icing to sit on. Now, to get the actual cupcake look of it, very simple. You've got tools on your table. I want you to take your tools. We're not stabbing, we're not sawing, we're just pressing, just kind of like rocking this into like rock it, rock it, rock it, rock it, or press or rock. And we're doing this going all the way around. Take your time. This is a good detail on it. You want it to look good. That looking good? Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Keep going around. All right, so here is our cake. I can even give it one more little tap. I can set this on my cloth mat to dry for a little bit. Now it's time for the fun part. You can make icing shaped like a giant swirl. And we all know what that looks like. It looks like some fresh Dairy Queen soft serve ice cream all piled up. You could do something like this. You could do something like this with a flower added on top. You could do something like this. That is when where you get to decide what you're doing. I will kind of quickly try to show you all three. So, excuse me. If you're doing the swirly one, you're going to have to take your clay and kind of roll it. You can roll it on your table too. Okay. Might still be a little bit cleaner than mine. Might not. I'm going to roll this out like a snake. And I can gently set this on here just kind of for some sizing. It should be wider than your cake bottom, a little bit. So I could just kind of eyeball this to where that would fit nicely on there and overlap a little bit, and then I know, okay, so I can start there, I can move this down, and I can start swirling this up. Now, your snake probably wasn't long enough, so you're gonna have to add another piece. You do need to kind of try to blend these together if you can. If you want to take one tiny little drop of water and blend those together, you can, and then you can continue making your swirl. It's also really good if you put a little water in here between these layers of swirl icing, and that will help this whole thing kind of stick together. I don't know if you can kind of see what I'm doing here, but I'm swirling around and I'm getting a little bit smaller each time, and then I'm adding a little bit more water to each one so that it will work like glue. Oh wow, this came out just perfect. It doesn't always happen that way. And I'll just kind of lay this swirl right on top of there. Now I can gently, gently, gently make sure these are all kind of connected. But then I can also take just one drop. We're not trying to drown it, just one drop, and just kind of smooth out my icing. You've got lots of time on this. Try to get rid of all those cracks and marks. I will have little pieces of paper for you, which I don't have right here. but I will have you write your name on a piece of paper and put that piece of paper between between your two layers so that it dries, but they won't get stuck together. And then your cupcake will be sitting and looking lovely like that. So that's one top. Another top you could make would be like this one here. It would be kind of a round top and you can decorate on it. So you would start out the same way. You would roll into a ball. You're gonna make your pinch pot again, but you're gonna keep your pinch pot wide, like a bowl. So it's almost like you're making a pinch bowl this time. And be shaped more like the top of a Smurf house maybe. And not big enough yet. Like I said, probably want it to be a little bit bigger than your cupcake. You can tap it down so it's flat. You might want to smooth it out. And this is the one you can decorate it however you choose. I'm going pretty quick. You can spend a little bit more time smoothing yours out. But you can be like, okay, could you leave it like that? Sure, you could leave it like that. Could you make little tiny sprinkles and put on it? Sure, you could do that. Could you make some little snakes and design like it's icing on top? Sure, you could do that. You would take some fresh clay. Like I said, we might have to make a clean spot on your table for this. But you can roll this out and you could make like that flower pattern. You could do a swirl like this, like a small skinny swirl on top of your other swirl that's already there. That's something I haven't done before. Well, you could probably do it a little nicer than I could, but there's that. People have asked about that flower before. That flower, okay, this is a little advanced. If this is not your thing today, this probably isn't for you, but I took little clay balls and I kind of flattened them out a little bit, kept lining them all up. I'm going quick because I want y'all to have as much time as you can today. But I kind of like took all of these, rolled them up and flattened them out and kind of put them next to each other so they were touching as I flattened them out. Kind of like all just getting smushed down together. Like we're making one of those Eric Carle caterpillars, but out of clay, and all the little pieces are coming together. So if I did this, I can kind of pick it up like this all in one piece, and if I flip it over and gently decide to kind of roll it up and keep bending those pieces out, then I kind of end up with a rose where you would put a tiny bit of water on the back and you would gently, gently, gently twist it until you got it to stick, and then probably try to open up those flower petals a little bit more. Like that. Like I said, that's a pretty difficult one. It's up to you. You can always just make a nice little cherry to sit on top. But that's really about it. Your icing is completely up to you. This is your pinch pot cupcake. Have a good time. Use your creativity. 1, 2, 3, go. Ah!